Man, that really is loud, huh? Got to make do with what you've got, laddie. Alright. Wait, this is colorless spells, right? Correcto. Hello. Current battlefield. When this creature dies. Huh. Cool card. Too bad it sucks. Yeah, the ultimate is like free, but it's still just awful. But you can get to the ultimate basically every game if you want. Fine. It's probably the same person I played against. Yeah, Arcane Signet. It got completely stomped on, but if it got away with it, I would have not been upset. It didn't get away with anything, actually. Ujin's Labyrinth is 7. It's possible. Possibrew? Strip Mine might be funny. Cavern on Eldrazi. Matter Reshaper might be fun. Metal Cyst. Can't forget Mystic Forge. Null Elemental Blast? It's not at its best right now. It's just not at its best. I think before Final Fantasy came out, it was pretty solid. Now it's just not. It's we gotta wait. There are a lot of Tifa decks and Bristly Bill, and there's just a boatload of mono green. Huh? I got a follow from someone who doesn't look like it's a bot. Cool. Have we finally made it? Has it finally happened? I don't like Fomori Vault. But I guess it's free. Wait, how does this work? I didn't actually read this. Alright, just doesn't matter. Treasure Vault's an artifact. I don't really care, though. Do I care? I guess I have to care. Ujin. With the One Ring, engine's always something to think about. So when you minus 3s, it goes right up to... It's kind of like a minus 2. I still see plenty of Tifas, so... Oh yeah, Ultima's the other Forsaken Monument, right? Just like way worse because it's a creature. I've had pretty good success with Thought-Knot Seer as well. Wait, isn't Ultima 5? Yeah, there it is. Ultima, not Ultima. Yeah, it's the other one. Probably all of the Eldrazi? Not really Emrakul, actually. I don't have Punishing Emrakul Lions. I also don't have Punishing Ulamogs, I feel. Ulamog is pretty straightforward. I feel like there's a fair amount of decks that just don't care about it. I've never Void Winnoward against Garuda yet, but the day will happen. It will happen one day. I promise. And Mortal Sun... Not the best idea. Anvil... You lose a card. Cloud Key, you don't. We could probably play Cloud Key, although most of my deck is already castable, but I don't really think I need it. Although it could just be better than... like, this might just be better than a random Mana Rock. At 3 mana, like... Oh, I guess I like all of them. Okay, I don't really like Matter Reshaper that much. I could take out Flesh Raker, but it is really good. So, I don't want to. Well, we have access to consistent lands of our choice with our commander. Bankbuster is card draw. Suppose that's fine. And then a bunch of cheap garbage. This replaces itself. Do you replace yourself? Technically. Sure. The keys are good with the One Ring and some Mana Rocks, but not many. Oh, this replaces itself. I don't have a lot of faith in Foundry, but I guess it makes artifacts. Place itself. The token is not a... It's not an artifact. Okay. Ghost Vacuum. Ugh. Tormod Script. Ornithopter? Did I put Strip Mine in here? Yeah. Well, it's got cards in it. You're gonna combat your turn. Okay. I mean, it is a colorless... Turn off my air conditioner. It is a colorless strategy, so it's not like it's rocket science to put it together. You don't exactly have a lot of options. Don't have a lot of options. I think the mastery thing has a Tezzeret in it. Or maybe not. Does it not? I thought it did. There's like the old Tezzeret? Yeah, there's that one. I thought there was another one. Yeah, there is. How do I... Where is it? I must have just not seen it. I must have not have seen it. It has to be near the bottom, right? Eh. Where is it? There it is. Ooh. Oh, that's weird. It's right before the locked ones start? Well, you were egregiously incorrect about that. It wasn't near the top. That's what I would have thought as well. Alright. There we go. Alright. This, I mean, again, it's colorless. It doesn't exactly take that much to assemble a strategy like this. A lot of what this card is trying to do is a little self-evident, so because you're colorless, you don't have really any kind of options to make your deck out of, but anyways, we're here with Tezzeret, Cruel Captain, 3 mana, 4 loyalty. When an artifact enters, you put a loyalty counter on it. The artifact you control enters. It has a 0 that untaps an artifact or a creature. If it was a creature, you put a counter on it. It has a -3, which finds an artifact that's 1 or less. And that, essentially, for the most part, is kind of a -2, because you can sort of just put into play whatever you just found, right? So it's sort of a -2. And then the -7 is you get an emblem with the beginning of your combat, put 3 counters on an artifact. If it's not a creature, it becomes a creature. So you can animate your artifacts to 3/3s. You can blitz this ultimate extremely fast. It is very easy to do it. That doesn't mean it's good. I don't think it's good. Every time I played against it, it got destroyed. I think this is probably one of the weakest commanders in the game. And one of the weakest, therefore one of the weakest commanders in the new set as well. Although, there's actually not a lot of new commanders. Fortunately for us free-to-play enjoyers who don't have a bunch of mythics. So, my primary goal is to win a single game that involves this card, and I didn't just simply win with, like, Emrakul or something. I'd like to try to actually win with this card. Feels nigh impossible, but sometimes it happens, right? With Ancient Tomb, anything's possible. Gemstone, strip mining your opponent. So there's ways to, maybe have that happen. There are a handful of cards I see played quite a bit with this commander that I would never play. I don't care how much it synergizes with my commander. One of them is Arcane Signet. It just doesn't tap for anything at all. I just would not play anything like Arcane Signet. I don't know why anyone really would play something like Arcane Signet. You can't have it tap for colorless. Same with the Mox. Both Mox, while they are 0 mana, actually all 3 Mox, you can play these as 0 mana cards simply for this. To me, that is unbelievably terrible, right? Like, this is not worth it in any capacity to simply make this faster and also race to the ultimate that you now made like a weird 0 mana 3/3. Like, it just makes no sense to me. So I would not recommend those cards. What else? Let's see. We do have another Forsaken Monument now, right? We got this thing. That's really nice, and obviously Ancient Tomb and all that jazz, really nice. Probably can get away with Ujin's Labyrinth. There's also Eldrazi Temple now that is now in the game. I don't own it. I think it's a mythic because all the space lands are... Oh, no, it's a rare. Oh, it is a rare. Okay, alright. I can craft it. I don't have a ton of Eldrazi, but this is a card to think about, right? When you have any kind of Eldrazi in your deck. I think it's the most predominant creature type. It is, so I can always find it with my favorite card of all time. Faceless Agent always finds an Eldrazi, although sometimes it hits Glaring Fleshraker, which I can't say I'm upset with either. But yeah, this is nice. But Eldrazi Temple does discount your Eldrazi. That is kind of significant. It's probably more so if one of them is actually your commander. Especially if you're running Ujin's Labyrinth and you put one of your Eldrazi under it, then, well, you know. So it's something to think about, but I'm probably not going to craft it right now. I'm not sold that I want to do that. Yeah, I do have some zeros. Indestructible things work with this, so if I animate this card, it's now a 3/3 indestructible. You can target the same thing multiple times, then suddenly you have a 6/6 indestructible, and then a 9/9 indestructible, and all that jazz. Same with these. So that's actually the only reason I'm playing these. There could be a huge issue with just creatures. I don't actually have a lot of creatures. I could definitely go in that direction. There's not a lot of options, and there's certainly not a lot of good options. But if I have to continuously defend Tezzeret from just getting smacked in the face, then we're in dire straits if we weren't already. So, yeah, let's see what happens. Let's try to win one game with it. Panharmonicon? For what? What is doubling? What am I even doubling? Nothing in this deck works with Panharmonicon. That doubles ETBs, right? That's the double ETB card? That doesn't do anything at all. I don't think it does anything with a single card in my deck, actually. I don't think I have a single ETB in this deck. Alright, Celestius is interesting. So is Ujin's Labyrinth with Ujin. That's kind of funny. I've actually never done this before. I don't even know if I've ever put a card under this thing before. I don't know. Alright, we're gonna do our best. I'm gonna make it a show of it. On the play Green Source. Alright, huge. Very excellent first game. Well, looks like it's doing stuff too. Well, I've probably already lost, but I guess I'll keep playing. Alright, we've lost. Cool. 1 into 3 on the play. You automatically win. Congratulations. Okay, let me read Panharmonicon. I must not understand what it does. If an artifact or creature causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger. Alright, it's not just ETBs, so you get a second token with Fleshraker, sure. Sundering Titan is kind of funny. Portal's just weird. Okay, I guess it sort of does stuff. Does it double Tezzeret's loyalty? If an artifact or creature causes something to trigger. Yeah, it does. It doubles your Tezzeret. It does double your Tezzeret. It costs 4. It's probably not a big deal. Still really weird. I feel like I don't have enough at all to run this card. But I could simply just take out the hot trash, like Tormod's Crypt. I could just bloop. Like that's just completely fine, right? Yeah, alright, whatever. I have junk in here I can replace very easy. No big deal. Give it a shot. I thought it was just ETBs. Like Yarok. Actually, Yarok reads the same. Right? Yarok reads the same. I'm used to Hearthstone, where like you can double your battle cries with Bran. And in Magic, there are things that double from things that are already in play. Sure. Okay, well, strip mine doesn't look great when your opponent does what they just did. Do I... Yeah, we should probably run one of these out here. I do kind of need a land. Wait, you can just tap this randomly? That's weird. Okay. Strip mine. Not incredibly productive, so I'll just cast this, and then probably get hit by that burn spell my opponent's holding on to. And then lose. Oh look, it's a burn spell they were holding on to. No way. I don't draw land, game's over. Wait, can I draw a card off of this? Yeah. Still too late, but maybe it matters. Okay, that was fun. We need, effectively, the impossible to occur for this to do anything. Which explains why I have not once lost to it. Well, I'll be honest with you, being on the draw is just not ever good for this deck, and it keeps happening. What do you have? Pact of Negation? What is that? I don't know. Couldn't tell you. None of this matters, but I guess I'll cast this one. They still have some kind of wash away or something. Let's play this, I guess. Play Winter Moon, act like it matters. Maybe I shouldn't have played Winter Moon. Yeah, I could have held on to Winter Moon. It doesn't do anything against my opponent. And it could be a Tezzeret trigger. So maybe a mistake there. Maybe a bit of a mistake. Urza's Cave. We can now play... No, we should... Wait, I can play both, right? Yeah, I can play both. Okay. I could just minus this. Oh, actually, what I can do is plus on the convert. Okay, we can plus here. No, I should plus here, so actually the damage doesn't matter. I'll just put a counter on our creature. Could have held the ingot for this next turn. Don't think it really matters, but I could have done that. Alright, well, I'm in play. I have cards in play. Alright, look at that, we did it. We beat something that I just don't think I have any business beating, but... Alright, they even had the One Ring. I feel like my opponent probably could have still won this, which is a really bad sign for this deck, but I think my opponent, had they not conceded, even though they missed a land, presumably, I don't know. I think we're... I don't know. Mono Blue doesn't like it when you're in play, though, but... Alright, we'll take it. We activated our commander. I think maybe the Ujin was a bit more impactful, though. Have we played a single game where Null Elemental Blast would have done anything? I don't know. There's no real reason to play Ornithopter. So I won't. I don't like the mono red stuff, though. Opponent can play the most jank thing of all time and probably just get away with it here. I don't think I'm playing that either. Yeah, there's no real reason to play it, so I'm just not going to. Like, it mana efficient, yeah, but I don't need it in play for any real reason. Let's see. Beginning of combat for each aura and equipment attached to this. So I can play Winter Moon, and that feels like it harasses my opponent's mana base kind of significantly. So I'm going to take a turn to do that. Because that feels really good. Look at that! We did it! It actually just stopped my opponent, I guess. That's actually kind of surprising. Did not expect that to happen. Alright. Tezzeret did it. Look at that. That was all Tezzeret. Again, another game, I think if my opponent just kept playing, they were just fine. That's probably the first time I've ever seen Winter Moon beat a monocolored deck, like ever, outside of colorless stuff. Like Ujin. I don't think I've ever won with Winter Moon against mono anything. Alright, we found our first Null Elemental Blast enjoyer. Or recipient. Okay. Guardian Idol's actually nice here, so... I can wait on Winter Moon for a turn? I don't think they're gonna get a basic here. Oh, alright, well, silly me. Don't think anything matters now. Yeah, no, literally nothing matters. Just cast this. I might even just concede here. Yeah, I'm gonna concede. That's just beyond stupid. It's an auto loss. I'm not beating that. My Jeskai opponent playing 2 mana sources a turn for the entirety of the game is an auto loss. Even if it steals nothing, which honestly won't really steal that much out of my deck, but still. Okay. Oh, we got a reader. We got a reader. They're reading my commander. Yep, just pass. Is there a snow-covered wastes? I can't remember. I think there is. I don't know if it looks better. I'll have to go look. I'm not a fan of this wastes. Oh, immediate pressure on Tezzeret. Heads up. There is no real way to... I mean, -3 goes up to 4, lose it. Alright, I'm just gonna 0 it, I guess. Do we have Memnite? No, we don't have Memnite, do we? Okay, that doesn't give stats. Oh, come on! Come on. One player, just please. I'm asking for one player to not have everything. That's all I want. That's all I'm asking for. Shouldn't be that much. So this into nothing else? Yep, seems right with me. It's not like playing these does anything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, they didn't give their 3-1 haste for whatever reason. So it's 8. Can play this, have it die immediately. I'm not getting strip mined. No, I'm not getting strip mined. There's no way this is doing anything other than this at this point. So I can get a land? This is unbelievably terrible. Yeah. I really don't think anything else is a good idea, so. There's no... I can actually do this. Strip 9 doesn't win the game. Strip 9 doesn't win the game. I'm not going to use that. It doesn't win the game. They don't need another land, period. They full stop don't need one. I'm dying to the board. I'm doing nothing. I can lose to these 2 cards in play I need an answer for. My opponent could never cast another card again, and I would still lose. I have to, like, get to something that I currently don't have. Which is this. This is not reliable. Also, they could just randomly draw a red source. I would say it's one of the most likely top decks they could draw anyways. It doesn't look like they did, but still. So... do it again? Lose the game? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Casting 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I mean, I guess I can. Okie dokie. Let's see what my opponent's next draw is. Flying. Nice. It's working all the same. Same outcome. Alright, well, that doesn't matter. They didn't put the armor on anything. They're actually swinging at Tezzeret. Opponent gets themselves a crowbar, which does win the game if they use it instantly, which is not ideal. But my opponent would have to appreciate that. Wait, can they? Yep. If they do that on the Celestius, I do lose. Besides, I said I'd set out to win with this card instead of Strip Mine every game, or what's it called? Ancient Tomb every game. But no, it literally, I was getting this. It's not even close. Alright. Or whatever I got. I can't remember what I got. Let's see. Does anything matter? Kind of doesn't feel like it. So... here and here, because I don't think anything in play matters. Opponent's LARPing, huge. Still LARPing, huge. Oh, maybe it's not LARPing. Maybe they actually have something to do with that mana. Okay, you didn't have to float that. Alright. It was LARPing. I spent 25 seconds thinking about floating mana for no reason. Nice. Still dead. How much Graveyard Hate do I have? Graveyard Hate could come into play in this this game. Let's see. Okay, well, I didn't lose instantly. That's pretty cool. Love to see it. Someone told me this commander doesn't play ramp spells, and I thought that was like the craziest thing I've ever heard. Like, yeah, no, I never play ramp spells in this. Like, why? At least play the mana dorks. It reanimates mana dorks. Of all the commanders to not play mana sources, that, like, this is weird. Oh, look, another one. Like, my opponent has literally only done ramp spells, which are just better than milling yourself for your commander. Alright, so we can play our commander. That's pretty cool. And I can make Ornithopter a thing. I can make Ornithopter a slightly larger thing. And then I can pass. Alright, bask in my 1/3. Look at it. Stare at it. Does this do anything? This stops my commander, doesn't it? Yeah, this stops my commander, right? Yeah, it does. Alright, well, I can't get to this 7 now. That was kind of insane. I don't know the last time I've seen that card played. Do I just lose now? Do I just lose? I think I just lose. I can put counters on my... I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to do now. This doesn't find anything, right? Yeah, I don't really know what I can do against Elish Norn. I can't kill it, so I don't have a -7 anymore. I can tutor up a... nothing of consequence. Okay. Oh, right. This exiles 2 things. Cool. Alright. Elish Norn was the worst thing to see. Excellent. I couldn't tell you the last time I've seen someone play Elish Norn. I don't remember the last time I've seen it in play. But yeah, it just hard countered me. the one time I was in play. But, I mean, let's be real. We kind of just lost to the green cards. It didn't really matter what they did beyond the first couple turns. It just straight up didn't matter. So, these cards are really good. If this gets anything but Glaring Flesh Raker, this hand is really good. But if it does get Glaring Flesh Raker, it's not looking great. Ornithopter again, jeez. Okay. Of course, no answer to that. Well, on the bright side, I can't lose to my opponent's cards next turn. So that's pretty cool. So, land this thing. Do that. Alright, we finally did it. We'll see how much it matters, but we did do it. I also get to kill my opponent's Ujin, which is kind of significant. Okay. Alright, so anything but Glaring Flesh Raker would be really nice with this Faceless Agent. Anything but Glaring Flesh Raker. Okay, that is really nice. Let's just play this again. No. I can sort of get a second ultimate, but I don't really see why that, or like what that does. Could just get Wayfarer's Bauble. That's fine. Have to sack it now if I want to do anything with the mana. And I do, so. Combat. Ornithopter, get in there. Huge. Ornithopter has been MVP here, which is so funny. It keeps showing up in all the games I'm playing. I don't know why it likes me so much. Alright, opponent has a lot of mana, but they would need an Eldrazi to have all of that matter. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. They have a bunch of mana. Sure. Just have that card instead. Why not? They did not tap the Palladium Mirror. Weird. So, steal my opponent's cards. Do I strip mine anything? I can strip mine Inventor's Fair. I probably should. Probably should. One would argue. Yeah. Probably a good idea, so I don't lose to whatever that could do. Alright, well, it's here. I will animate the Forsaken Monument because it no longer matters and I want to kill my opponent. I think that would be a really good idea, so I need to force out the lethal. They get Faceless Agent, which probably just gets Eldrazi. It has to be Ulamog, and it has to have found in Eldrazi. Looks like it did not. Okay, opponent's going to 1? We're doing it? Does this give haste? Nope. Play this. Opponent's going to 1. Is there anything to Buried Ruin? No, there really isn't. I do get a second ultimate, but I just don't think that's super amazing. But hey, it's a thing I'm doing. So, we'll take it. At this point, I'll animate that. And more counters here. I'm not going to animate the Ghost Vacuum. The Ghost Vacuum should keep the portal from winning, if it isn't already doing that. They're at 1 life. I have 5 lethal threats. It's not enough. This doesn't generate colored mana to play whatever it gets. Oh, but they can make treasure tokens, actually. Which they do. They'd have to specifically find the sweeper, I think? It has to be the sweeper. Okay, now it's any option, but you don't have enough to cast any seriously threatening thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 and an artifact, 6 a non-artifact. I think we're getting there. I think it's happening. Okay. Ulamog doesn't do it. Emrakul doesn't do it. Emrakul doesn't do it. Emrakul does not do it. Neither Emrakul does it. Alright, the One Ring buys them a turn, but it doesn't... They can't tap it. They can't tap it. This last card is a creature. We know that for a fact. I'm not going to animate the other artifacts. If I crack my own Ghost Vacuum, I still have a chance to hit Glaring Flesh Raker, and I don't believe hitting Ulamog even does anything. So, I'm just going to go to combat. Yeah, we're just going to go to combat. All threats are lethal. I don't have to do anything specific. Again, they can't tap the One Ring. And I am still pretty confident the card in hand is an Eldrazi. I would say with confidence. Which is easily castable, but it can't be this one. It can't win the game. The 10 mana Ulamog doesn't do it. The other Ulamog doesn't do it. The Emrakul that steals a turn doesn't do it. There's not a lot that does it here. Do I cast my commander? Panharmonicon? Can I do both? I can do both. Okay. I don't know why they're suddenly really slow. They only have one card. They can't tap the One Ring. Is my opponent just upset they lost to Tezzeret? That's funny. I don't know. I mean, they're here and then they're also not here. I don't know what's causing such rocket science. I can actually triple ultimate. We're gonna just find another part. Yeah, we're gonna find another thing to put into play. Let's put Mishra's Bauble into play? No, let's put I can't play that. Alright, let's play Expedition Map. Put that into play. So we have even more threats. We have even more threats here. Colorless is going to struggle to deal with all of those threats. Alright. Still have Portal checked. It's Kozilek. That was the one I was in no way, shape, or form thinking about. Alright. That one wasn't the... That was the only one I didn't talk about, which is funny. It was actually the only one that really does anything. Alright. I still don't think it can do anything that stops me, but that is certainly funny. That is certainly funny. Alright. Not even the good Kozilek? Yeah. These cards are not colorless. The cards that generates. Opponent has 5 mana. Okay, so they have a lot of colorless mana, but they still don't have colored mana. Still don't have colored mana here. Wait, you can just cast it colorless? I lost this game? Are you kidding me? I lost this game. My opponent just... They literally just drew the nuts off of the Eldrazi. I would never recommend any deck play. That's crazy. That's unbelievable. Wow. Alright. Unbelievable. That was just a godsend top deck there. That was insane. Yep. Unbelievable. It was... Of course it's the one that I would never tell anyone to play. Like, it wasn't the Ulamog, other Ulamog, it wasn't Emrakul, other Emrakul. It was just this thing. That's unbelievable. Wow. Unbelievable. I cannot believe I lost that. Wow. To someone that was roping out on my turn, too. Right? Like, of course. Roping out because they think they're losing, and then they just drew the perfect 7 off of their Kozilek, because of course they did, right? Of course they did. Unbelievable. Oh boy, how exciting. I mean, 99% of the time, I would have had it. But when your opponent draws perfectly, you know, you don't have it. One. Anything castable? Come on. Oh, wait. I didn't play a land yet. We're there. I thought I already played a land. Okay. We're there. If I didn't draw that, it was just lights out. Okay, we got there. Alright. Oh, I could have swung for 4. Could have swung for 4. Didn't see the line. Too late. Didn't see the line. Alright, let's see if any of this matters, because no matter what we do, we're still against mono green. And the 2 drops they played are just better than all of this. Alright. Well, I'm sure they'll play a card that doesn't involve mana eventually. Play this? And then what? Do nothing? Play this. It would be do nothing. Do I swing? Does swinging even matter? Alright, we're gonna pretend like swinging matters. That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. I'm going to assume they don't interact with this 4/4 here. That's what we're going to assume. They still haven't played a card that doesn't involve ramp. Kill that. Force a block. I lose the game if they untap with any of these. I have to stop the... this thing. Okay, blight the Nykthos. What a joke. I missed lethal! God! I just needed an extra second. Oh, it was so obvious. Oh my God. I'm losing my mind. I missed lethal. I can't believe that. I just missed lethal. Alright, well, in some insane miracle where I have another turn, I guess something can happen. I just completely missed lethal. Completely and utterly missed lethal. Yep. Miss lethal. Whatever. This deck has me all just tripped up. That's cannot believe I missed lethal. What's really frustrating is I saw it 2 seconds later. I would rather have missed it and not known. I missed it by literally the skin of my teeth. I just completely missed it. You know what really got me was my opponent just didn't block, and it just completely stun locked me. My opponent just straight up did not block. Ugh. I'm gonna feel that one for a while. Yikes. We had it. Crazy game to win, too. Would have been a crazy game to win. Alright, well, apparently they have Solitude. Of course that happens to us. Well, can't play Solitude now, can I? Or play into Solitude. Oh. Or nothing I did mattered anyways. That's cool. Always nice to see. What even... I don't even know what... I don't even know what to do here. Nothing even matters. Whatever. So, play... literally nothing matters. I guess I'll play the one that can't die again. They have Solitude. So, it's not like any of this does anything but this one. And then I can play Wayfarer's Bauble, which is probably not worth it. I don't really know what any... I don't think I have any accomplishing lines here. Doesn't seem like I do. What is this? Casualties of War? No. This more naturalizes. Alright, very fun. Very fun. Ah, I can't believe I missed lethal like that. It was just really, I just could have swore they blocked. I kind of thought they had to block. It's so funny that a mono green deck just would not block with Llanowar Elves and just go to 1. That's how powerful Llanowar Elves is. It's just better than my 8/8. That you would just take 8 damage. It's just insane. This format is not balanced, let me tell you. Not balanced in the slightest. Mind Stone is good, so I guess I'll keep this. Mind Stone is... Oh, Winter Moon also can be good. Okay, anything but the Esper Sentinel would be ideal. Not gonna cast this? Not gonna cast this. Maybe I should, because I didn't hit a land, or I don't have a land in my hand. Yeah, maybe that would be the reason to do it. Of course, I don't draw a land. Why would I? I can play that into that. So, we're just doing this. Like that. Well, for this deck, it's quite significant, because I'm not winning any games. So it's really frustrating that I slipped a victory. Alright, now that we played Winter Moon, I'm sure the 4-colored deck will now only play basics. Yep. The first of each basic is... Oh, doesn't surprise me, but... Still not good to see, obviously. Land... Mana Rock... Yeah, let's, still try to play around. Okay, no luck. So still to play around, oh wait, no, that was the, excuse me, that was the last opponent. That was the last opponent, it's not this one. My games are so similar, they're bleeding into each other. That's funny. Alright, they're looking for probably Arcane Signet. I would probably just get Arcane Signet. It kind of nullifies the Winter Moon a little bit. Would make sense to me, at least. Feels like the easy choice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can almost just full stop cast Ujin. They did not get Arcane Signet. Wow. Why not? I don't understand. Alright, well, I mean, this is extremely good here, so I'm going to cast it. And I'm going to plus. Alright, look at that. We're secretly Ujin. We weren't even Tezzeret. Weren't even Tezzeret. Look at that. I mean, like I said, I'm looking for victories with this card, but at this point, this isn't really doing anything. So, but the Winter Moon did continue to do stuff. People playing into Winter Moon is not the most common thing, but that's what they ended up doing. These tap lands are very, very greedy for this commander. 4-color strategies just don't like tap lands. And if you're going to play tap lands, I think you might have to just stick to the trios, in my opinion. But I can see the logic. These are very difficult. I don't even know if I played these. I just played this commander. I couldn't tell you if I put these in there. I can't remember. Maybe I did? I feel like I didn't. Maybe I did, though. Someone has to remind me. I don't remember. Maybe I did. I'll have to look at my list. The more I think about it, the more I'm 50-50 on them now. I don't know. It's all coming back to me. Yeah, maybe some are okay. Maybe you just have to play them. This format is extremely unkind to... why do we want Shadow Spear? Trample? Why do we want Trample? Why is giving our 3/3s Trample doing anything? I'm more concerned about my commander doing anything before I'm giving a random 3/3 or 6/6 Trample. But fine, I can take out hot garbage such as, but not limited to, this. There you go. Here's your spear. Now we'll see it do something one game, maybe. Trample out, I guess, has value. I don't know. Yeah, the one game I had creatures, it would have been okay, I guess. Alright, I haven't played against this before. Can't keep that. Oof! Well, let's see. If I draw a land... This is just ridiculous. I don't care. Don't care. Cloud Key can name creature with a ridiculous hand like... Ah, that's still just not a good idea, though. Oh, maybe it is, actually. Okay, it also might not matter to any capacity, honestly. So here... What does this do? I have to actually read it. Combat. Your choice, counter or charge counters. And then... Everything's hexproof and destructible. Right. This one actually does kind of look promising. I drew one of the best things ever. Opponent has only one land that I can... Sundering Titan. Sundering Titan is definitely the worst card in my hand, so... Be gone. Let's play you? No. Play this? Make... the thing? Which would be a 2/2? It's kind of ugly, isn't it? Oh, yeah, that's pretty ugly. Alright, I'll just plus it. Yeah. Worst case scenario is I just get a land, so... Oh, we did get a land. Nice. Take that. I don't know if I would ever give my opponent this. They chose not to. They do have Ghost Vacuum, so maybe they don't care about this, but yeah, it doesn't really matter. It's an artifact for this and stuff. When's the last time I played this Karn? Remember when this Karn first came out, it was like $70 for like 2 weeks, and then it tanked, because it had no home. It had no home in like Standard or Modern or anything. But the hype behind that card was cataclysmic. I'll tell you that much. Cataclysmic hype. Alright, they have one of the few mana in producing things, because of course they do. They went from being an honest beatdown thing to now doing the strongest thing you can do in the format, which is ramp endlessly. So they're playing 3 mana sources a turn, effectively. So I cast my commander. It probably dies. Probably. Can I do anything else? No, not really. Nope. I can harass my opponent with another plus? No, let's just... I mean, I'm gonna cast this. I don't know. Okay, do that. Untap this. Play this. Actually. Let's pick up the... relic. Do I play this? I probably should play this, yeah. I probably should play it here. One would argue it's probably a good idea. Yeah, Eldrazi's not the majority creature type anymore with my my deck, because these are in my hand. Let's just do this out of sheer spite. This is creature only though, right? Yeah. Yep, just losing to mana. One, two, three, four, five. Ugh. What are they doing over there? What are they doing? I'm not sure. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Pretty good thing with Tezzeret. I guess I'll cast it. I think Cloud Key's now going to name creature? 1, 2, yeah, I probably should. I don't even need it to name artifact, so I just don't need it to name artifact here for any reason. Can put a counter on the Ornithopter, which I think kind of matters. There's nothing really else to do, so that's what I'm going to do, I guess. I mean, everything I'm doing looks kind of interesting, but my opponent still has Astral Cornucopia with infinite charge counters, which is nullifying everything I've done so far. One, two, three, four, short. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I mean, this was a good draw. It was a land find as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, a land would have been fine as well. It didn't have to be this. Mana, 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 mana. Take action. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, well, I just top decked egregiously. I mean, this is just truly a game-winning line, I think. So, boop, boop. Yep, that was a game-winning line for sure. Alright, well, I offset my opponent's cornucopia with, just drawing 2 soul rings back to back. It's kind of insane, actually. But, yeah, if it wasn't for this, we were winning almost immediately. But they had a way to generate an insane amount of mana. I probably could have went after a land instead of the 2/3. Could have just went cornucopia this land instead, but I don't think it matters. Like, just the difference where we are and what my hand looks like, I can probably just get away with it. But yeah, the second target is kind of irrelevant. Cool. But that cornucopia was definitely very good. It was yeah, definitely the best card in play between us, between the two players. The Tezzeret did some stuff there, I guess, right? There was maybe an opportunity to minus it to find a soul land with it. With Expedition Map, might have been, assuming I didn't like just draw it or whatever. This hand is really weird. We didn't lose instantly, no way. Alright, well, for the sake of casting my commander, I will cast my commander. Probably just minus it. I don't really feel like 3/3s are doing anything. We're still against the green ignores you deck, but Ancient Tomb kind of lets me play against it a little, so maybe there's something there. Kind of have some play with the Ancient Tomb. They didn't have a 1-drop, so a couple things have gone right so far. See what else happens. I don't really need my commander anymore. I think it, as like a weird ramp spell, is honestly all I can ask for in this matchup. Okay, weird they don't do anything? Very strange. Okay, so we play this and just simply crack it. Right? Guess I can play this too. Sure. I guess. Oh, or I just lose because I cast a spell. My bad. That's my bad. I forgot I'm not allowed to cast spells. Yep, go figure. I have to play around Mana Drain every single time my opponent has 2 untapped blue. Apparently. Just every single game, no questions asked. This is so ridiculous. I don't even feel like playing anymore. I don't even feel like playing. Opponent's hand is completely cracked in half, because of course it is. Take that card, play this, plus on that. They can kill my commander with this, and then they can also take an extra turn because they have the $500 Mythic Rare in play. Yeah, they can kill my commander and also take an extra turn. Wow, they don't even have to play an untapped land to do it. Okay, they can also kill the Thought-Knot Seer, but now they can't take an extra turn. They still can take an extra turn. Bro, what the... This is just so dumb. This is just so dumb. Whatever. How... It's ridiculous. All of that because I didn't play around Mana Drain. All of that because I didn't play around Mana Drain. Yep. All of that. I just had to respect it. Maybe we would have continued playing, I guess. To what end, I don't know, but... Yep. Needed to just respect the 2-mana door to nothingness. Needed to respect it, and I didn't. Needed to respect it. Alright, it's mono green again. Oh, cool. Someone conceded to mulliganing. We take that. We take it because we have to take it. We take it because it's the only thing we're allowed to get. We take it because there's no other option. Little did my opponent know, they can still win with 4 cards. Little did they know. I'm on the play, but it's again another mono green deck. So I don't know if I can do nothing for 2 turns. I really don't think I can. Okay, Mind Stone is good. I could maybe run slightly more mana rocks, but that doesn't really solve the main issue, I feel. Yeah, that doesn't actually solve the issue. If anything, it presents a new one. So, oh look, they mulliganed to 5 just for this. No way. Just for the turn 2 Helga. Can you believe it? It only makes sense, right? What else is there to do? Tap here, this. Okay, well, they can't tap Helga if they want to stop my card from doing stuff. Alright, well, this is a God tier 5. Let's do this now. Ancient Tomb doesn't change that much. I think I have to keep it, though, because of Ujin in my hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can't cast it. If I didn't scry, I could cast Ujin, but I scried, so I can't. Untap this thing just to play this. Okay, painful mana base, but you know, that's what we're here for. This is a God tier 5 mold 5. But maybe I can do anything. Ujin would really like to have a card to go with it. That would be ideal. So, we'll see. Apparently it isn't obvious. Oh, wow. Yeah. Interesting. I didn't expect that. I guess it makes sense. I can technically ultimate, but I don't know where that's going for me. Let's proliferate, because we have two things that kind of want me to proliferate. It looks like they have Tail's End? Do we think that's Tail's End? It's kind of giving me Tail's End vibes. Oh. Okay, sure. Does that change anything? I feel like it doesn't. But we'll see. I feel like that doesn't change much. Is this sorcery? No, you can do whatever you want. Okay. Let's put counters on random treasure. Yeah, right? Does that make sense? Of all the cards in my hand, that does... No, actually, we can do it here and then, like, block and sack it. That feels decent. Okay, I can't cast spells, but I do have a bunch of mana. If Vaultborn Tyrant's my opponent's only play next turn, then I'm not terribly concerned with my situation. We are still currently winning in hand, so that's ideal. Doesn't take much for the mono green deck to nullify that and turn it around. Huh. We get to keep Tezzeret. That's unlikely. Okay. What is the idea of this? Why did they do that? I don't know. I do not know. would have actually been a really good card to have in your hand. So that was very strange. Very, very strange. Mana Confluence. Okay. Turning the Urza's Cave into a different land here doesn't do that much, so I think I'm just not going to. Let's just draw a card. Let's just draw a card. I would get Ancient Tomb, but it's already in play, so... Okay, let's play this. Yep. Okay. I don't really like tapping this for mana. Maybe I just will. Alright, yep. Ujin is just too much. I could have went for Ulamog, but it... probably not a good idea. Yeah, I mean, the Blitz Mulligan for the Forest, Plains, Birds of Paradise. This is what I was talking about with the other opponent, where you can just win because you're a green deck on a mull to 4, because you're playing against Tezzeret. And this person actually did continue to play with a low hand count, starting hand count. And, it quite easily could have gotten there, like very easily, but we just had cards to get out of it. The chant might have been useful later. I don't know when I would fire this off. I think maybe when they did it does make sense, actually. But I still have my commander in play, and it doesn't stop this. So I don't really know if I like that. It depends. That's a hard one to... That's a hard one. I don't know. Well, my opponent thought about it for a while, so I trust their judgment. Alright, well, it's not quite mono-green, because it does play a lot of counter spells. The one card we just don't want to see is Wilderness Reclamation. It's kind of the one card I don't want to see. This could be just a turn 1 Expedition map hand. I like holding the 1-drops for Tezzeret, but that might be a good idea to do that, so... Well, what do you know? I wasn't playing Gretchen, I was just playing against Tamiel, of course. Silly me. Land that, untap. No, that's not enough. Land that. Not enough. Ugh. I don't really have a good turn next turn here. Training Grounds is, intimidating. Oh. We can also just instantly lose to Wash Away. That's not great. And we did. Fun. Alright, that was enjoyable. I love the Tamiyo Training Grounds Wash Away opener from the Gretchen players. I'm totally playing Legacy. We don't have any good -3s in Historic Brawl. That's definitely another issue. If we had Soul Ring, this commander would probably be pretty decent. And all it would really take is something like Soul Ring. So, like, it's on the table for this to be good at some point. I would not put them past it to put Soul Ring in the game. Ancient Tomb is kind of just better than Soul Ring, so it's... It's kind of funny. They just skipped right over Soul Ring. Mana Crypt might not ever show up, but like Soul Ring is a thing. I'm kind of surprised it even pits me against Tifa. That's very strange. Does not feel good to play against that. I'm gonna just pass. Actually, I don't think I can beat this. Can we beat this? I don't think we can, right? I don't think I can beat this. Yeah, this feels like just a snooze fest waiting to happen. I might actually full stop be dead next turn. So I don't think I can beat Tifa whatsoever, like in the slightest. Even on the play with Ancient Tomb. Let's see, Ancient Tomb. I don't know what the best hand looks like, but it does involve Ancient Tomb. Okay, so Ancient Tomb Gemstone Mine, but that would be on the draw, which doesn't really do anything. I suppose you would take the draw with Gemstone Mine, Ancient Tomb. So then I could play Tezzeret, turn 1. Goes to my opponent, they play Tifa, goes back to me. I play a 4-mana card. Let's say it's a Mana Rock. Goes back to my opponent, they kill my commander, or they kill me, and I still lose. I think the best case scenario, like the best hand against Tifa, I still lose. Right? I think I do. That's kind of crazy. I think that is legit what would happen there. Oh, let me think about it more. Oh, look, it's mono green again. How exciting. So, on the play, they play the forest. We have Gemstone, Ancient Tomb. We play Tezzeret. Next turn, it goes to 4 mana. They play Tifa on turn 2. They also can't have a Mana Dork. They can't have a Mana Dork. It goes to our turn 2. We untap. We play another land. We, Let's get a... I have to think for a second. Let's get map. We play... I don't know what's next. We have 4 mana. We play a 4-mana Mana Rock. Either I die instantly because my opponent has Tifa, or they kill Tezzeret and it's gone. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can go into Ujin. Okay, so there are some viable lines that involve cards that we could technically play and maybe sort of matter. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, might as well play this. If I can race to Ulamog, I can maybe beat the... whatever this deck does. That combo thing. Oh, or they just have Chromox and nothing I did mattered. That works too. I don't know why they're playing Labyrinth. That's odd. Wait. Okay, that's not the combo thing. Okie dokie. Still just pays for itself every time, just like Golos, so it's nigh unkillable. Let's play a bunch of mana. Do I kill it? I think I should still kill it so they don't just spam Cascade into complete and utter clown universe. I have no idea the last time I kicked a Skyclave Relic. I actually have no idea. Let's tap that. Let's do this. Ancient Tomb. Strip Mine does not seem remotely productive, so I'm just going to play this and do that. Top card is poop. That is castable. Put it on the other Mystic Forge? Sure. This is also castable. Alright, this is one of the best games I've had so far. But unfortunately it's against a Modi that had Chrome Mox. But I did cast spells, and they can potentially matter. How exciting. I'm gonna get rid of the cave here for sure, I think. But against Pock. They already played their land? Oh, maybe they didn't actually. No, I don't think they did. Okay, maybe they don't have a land, or they did. I don't know, I wasn't paying too much attention. Land, land, land. Land, 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 land. Jeez. Okay, it might not matter, though. Might not matter. Okay, huge, huge. Ultimate for the sake of it, but not quite necessary at this juncture. Alright, we did it. We beat Mono Green Ramp. Look at that. It wasn't the combo one, though. If it was, I think I would have lost. Although it wouldn't have Chrome Mox. So we would have had an extra turn. But that extra turn, they did cast a Modi twice. If it was the one that, like, plays that one card. Although I had... Actually, I had Ujin. I could have blown up the enchantment if it was the combo one. So we might have been okay. As okay as you can get playing against, you know, the blue-green, the best thing in the format, shy of just Keenan. But alright, sure. We did it. That felt like the first game that felt really good. I'll say that. Like, everything was just working out. That also involved my commander. So that was actually pretty neat. Like, our commander had relevant text on it. Alright. Kind of wish the vacuum might be something else, but can't have the perfect hand. It's mono green again. I've played almost exclusively green decks today. Really not good for us. Really not good. At least they haven't all just played a mana dork on turn 1. I'm not going to play the Ghost Vacuum. Oh wow, just no green at all. Alright. Best case scenario. We take those. Oh yeah, I never actually changed my wastes. I said I was going to, I never did. That is not when you play the... Oh wait, yes it is. Yes it is. I thought it was the other one. Okay. Kind of weird. Kind of strange. I'm into it, I guess. Let's play... this... Wait. Land? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here. Here. This is as, like, late as it gets for the ultimate to be relevant, so we might actually get away with something here. But we'll see. Yeah. Yeah. That was about as late as I feel you could probably whip the ultimate out and have it be scary, right? My opponent does... It might even still be just too late. I mean, my opponent conceded to it, but they're going into 5 mana as a green deck, and... I don't know. They just didn't play green. It was... They did the other 2 colors, which... I can't imagine is what this commander really wants you to be doing. I feel like green is just the best thing to do here, but yeah. The Mind Sensor doesn't do anything against us except Tezzeret minus, so I'm kind of surprised they just cast it. Although they wanted to play a tapped land that sacks the other land, so they had to play it there. Huh. Kind of weird. Alright. That could have easily have gone a different line. Like if they started with Delighted Halfling, the game would have been, you know, more typical. Instead of tapped Red Source. Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't have anything to do at 5 mana, or even 4 mana. I'm surprised it didn't have anything to do. I think maybe a 3/3 a turn is kind of beatable there. They are also white, so there's like Swords of Plowshares and stuff. Path of Exile is also kind of not a good thing to see in a deck like this. Normally I don't, you like it when you get Path. No, actually, I wouldn't say that. I think if we got Path of Exile in this deck, we would still be just happy. Alright. I want the... I don't have any other waste art, huh? Yeah, I want the snow one. I want that one. I think that one's more pretty. There we go. More prettier. Okay, it's not green. It's not green this time. It does still play a bunch of ramp spells, though. Because that's sort of like the big idea before you get into whatever. Exile Graveyard Hate doesn't stop Garuda, so I don't expect this to do much. The hand outside of that doesn't really do anything anyways. Cold Steel Heart is probably good enough. Oh, that's a bold statement. I don't think it is. This hand is really... I don't know. I mean, I'm not looking... There's no hand that's going to make me feel good against Garuda. So I might as well take this. Okay, Thoughtseize... Wasn't expecting Thoughtseize. I now need to find another card. My opponent immediately knows what's up. It makes sense, right? Both of us understand that that is the only card in my hand that really does anything at all. No, go figure. Thought I wasn't playing against green. Little did I know. Was this Brainstorm? Oh, no. That's a weird one. What is that doing in here? Okay. That's weird. Feels unnecessary. Oh, I mean, it always gets that. Yeah, maybe. That was weird, though. Oh, it's an even cost card. It's even. Alright. Makes sense again. Oh. Yeah, it makes sense again. Alright. Oh. Okay. I said we weren't playing against green, and then we lost to double ramp spell. Can't keep that. Iron Crag is good. Haven't quite done the busted thing yet, so there it is, doing the busted thing. Yep, get wrecked. Look at that. Historic Brawl, everybody. Does this make you sack artifacts, or is it just creatures? Artifact, creature, enchantment, land. Oh, and it's lands. I really wish Ornithopter was anything but Ornithopter right now. I cannot keep this. Does not seem like it would get me anywhere, so yeah, we're not keeping this. Well, we got another reader. Okay. Maybe a good sign. You don't necessarily have to be familiar with the Tezzeret matchup to do stuff. Okay, that's one land. Ooh. Well, I can't mulligan it, so go here and here. All right. Well, we're doing it again. It's happening again. I didn't blitz mulligan for it. It just showed up. I'll take it. If they have... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ugh. Oh, they played an artifact land. You gotta be kidding. Okay, they didn't sack it. They didn't sack it. That is actually pretty fine. Yeah. Okay. And then play the old pass the turn strategy. This is gonna die, but it is in play. I still need... Alright, we did it. I don't know why they didn't make me sack a creature. Seems like a colossal mistake from the opponent, but we take those, so... what would I minus into? I don't really know. So let's just play the Mystic Forge. Rather not take 2 damage, but I should probably play my cards. If I aim to do stuff that involves things. There's no real attack here. Sure. I think I can just not afford to pay 1 life. Okay, maybe I have to now. Yeah, alright. Block that. The attack can kill the cutthroat, so we can probably get stuff done here. 1, 2... Okay, always go into combat. Have to effectively kill this thing. Too low to let it continue to touch me. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna draw this. Yeah, we're gonna draw this. If I get to it, I win. Can I get to it now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? Nope. Lands, lands, lands. Ay, ay, ay. Stop with the lands, please. I don't know... Okay, go away. I could have gotten Spear. Could have gotten Spear. I'm not dead if I play this, so... Oof. Oof. Okay. Well, they had to think about it, so I'm going to assume they don't immediately have lethal here. Alright, no more Ancient Tomb. The ultimate on my... Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's not enough. I have to get Spear? Yeah, I have to. Okay. Beginning of your end step, if a player controls no creature, sacrifice. Okay, so here. Do this. We have the combo engine in play, but I am at 1. So it's not ooh, wait, can I cast this without dying? Technically. They'll probably concede to this card. Yeah, because now they can't kill me for a turn cycle. They'll probably just concede. Oh. No, never mind. Never mind, they had an answer. So I was never going to swing with the I was just never going to swing with that, I guess. Yeah, let's do that. I don't really think I like Karn. Karn is mana neutral, so I can probably just keep it. Should I start tapping the One Ring? Find Ujin, win the game? Yeah, okay. We're all in here. We're just all in. We're just all in. It's extremely difficult to lose from here, I think. That's what my emotions are saying. We've seen people do this for quite a while, so. They want to play it out, so I will. Yeah, we have ways to not die to the ring in our deck. Unfortunately, yeah, I can't push QQ like the auto tapper will cause a problem there. Because of the Ancient Tomb. Oh, wait a minute. I have protection from the Ancient Tomb. I can just tap it. Alright, now we can just push QQ. I have protection. Alright, yeah. Now we just win. Oh, hey, an extra turn. Who doesn't like an extra turn? Oh, I have protection. No! No extra turn. Alright, we can probably start tapping the One Ring again. don't argue I probably should have never stopped, but I mean, I'm never going to fizzle here. Just have to find the steel. $32 cards left. It's not in my hand, is it? No, I don't see it. Really? It's not in my hand yet? Alright. I'll keep looking for it. Unless it is in my hand, then you know, ruh-roh. Ruh-roh spaghettios. Alright, I'm running out of time. Now I actually have to find it for real, for real. Third from the right? What do you mean? I don't see it. It's in my hand, though, for real? Okay. So, where is the sculpting steel? There it is. All right. All right, we're good. Oh no. No, the timer. Please. Dang it. Alright, ran out of time. Ran out of time. Alright, opponent, what do you got? What do you got? Can you beat all of that? I probably could have had a handful of lands, and, like, I don't even... yeah, actually, I did find a handful of lands randomly. That's kind of funny. Doesn't really matter, though. Yeah, their only out was the One Ring killing me, but I found a new one. Good thing you said that. I just completely lost track of it. Sure. Yuki. I have Omniscience, so it doesn't quite do anything. Oh, they can Field of Ruin me. Because of the Power Stones. That's hilarious. Probably blow up the Vault. I don't think the Fair matters. Okay, they do blow up the Fair. I would probably blow up the Vault, because I have so much mana I can find any card in my deck. But it probably doesn't matter which one they do. Alright. Probably doesn't matter. Untap. Reanimate this. Opponent isn't actually quite dead. Oh, they're over it. Yep. Opponent suffered through that entire thing to have an out that just wasn't there. It is extremely difficult once you pop off with the One Ring Paradox engine to lose, even with the One Ring making a bunch of charge counters. And we had a way to deal with it. But if I didn't have a way to deal with it, it would have made us lose the game. But it didn't. Cool. Look at that. So that's what that feels like, huh? I'm usually on the receiving end of that. Alright, well, we can check that off. We can check that off. I should just play it safe emotionally and call it quits now. Because you know what's going to happen the next 5 games? It's going to be a wall of... Oh, look! Mono green. Nope. I have not played Solemn Simulacrum yet. Oh, look! The best thing ever! Yay! So interesting. Can't wait. One into 3. Which is kind of an auto loss. I'm over it. Enjoy. 1 into 3. You got it. That is an auto loss. I have no recourse to that. And they just start spinning with loot, or just cast Primeval Titan next turn. Or actually kind of anything. It doesn't even really matter what it is. Having 6 mana sitting there is enough for me to concede. Don't even have to spend it. Two mana sources a turn every turn. Perfectly balanced as all things should be. I'd be interested to see a Historic Brawl format where, like, you're not allowed to play multiple mana sources a turn. That would be kind of interesting. Like, they just remove every single card that ramps, you know, just to see. You don't have to remove green, just all the... anything that involves more than one mana source a turn. I'd like to see what that would look like. We'd have, like, a format again, where you could, like, do whatever you want and have a good time. I think we can just get rid of the star. It's a bit greedy to get rid of the star. Yeah, all of this is just really awkward. Alright, we'll just get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Oh, look, it's mono green again. I really hate being right. I wish I just wasn't right. I'd love to be wrong. Oh, look, chat. It's a 1 in 3 again. That is just so fun. Mono green, 1 into 3. 2 games in a row. You think it'll happen again? Let's find out. Are we going to see it again? Are we gonna see it again? Okay, well, it's mono green again, but it's not Azusa loot. Basically Azusa twice. I actually kind of like loot more than Azusa, because the faster lands with Azusa don't necessarily translate to faster lines. I think loot's ability is just really, really good. So I would probably play it over Azusa. No, it's still just green. Palladium Mirror. Oof. Yeah, they have a 4/4. I can't really play my commander. I also didn't draw lands, so yeah, I have to play the Palladium Mirror. I just have to. Okay, mana. Nice. Oh! A card that doesn't involve mana. It only took 3 games. Let's see here. 1, 2... I don't know. Sweeper? Of course not. Why would I get a sweeper? Get rid of Ornithopter. And pass. Why would I get a sweeper? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If I draw a land, I can play Cityscape Leveler. Alright, we're dead. Cool. Nice. 3 games in a row. Mono green. Love to see it. Let's see, will it be 4 for 4? Let us find out. Let us find out together. Oh, it can't find me an opponent. All the green players are busy. They're just waiting for a green player to open up. Oh, there it is. Found it again. Nice. We've had some non-green opponents, to be fair. It did happen. It was in the works. Oh, look! Well, wait, we didn't see the 3 yet. We didn't see the 3. Wait for the 3. Not quite. Still just playing 2 mana sources a turn, though, so that's fun. Alright, I'm done. I'm just done. I've had my fill of this. It's literally 4 games in a row. 4 games in a row. It's the same exact thing. I'm over it. I'm tired of just doing nothing. Alright. So, you do win with this sometimes. It is kind of satisfying when the card, like the text of this, comes up, not simply just trying to blitz to the weird -7. If we ever get something like Soul Ring, this could actually be pretty scary. But as it stands, it's just not going to do anything against most of anything. In Standard, I don't think you can even entertain the idea of colorless strategies. So it kind of has to be colorless in Historic Brawl only. But yeah, there was a few opponents that weren't green, but for some reason, I had 3 or 4 massive walls of mono green opponents, all back to back, and all of them had a 1-drop and they went 1 into 3 or 2 into 4. If either of those things happen to you, you lose. It doesn't really matter what they do with the mana afterwards, as long as it's spent on anything, you lose. So all of that is going to make you lose. And that doesn't even consider Tifa. Tifa is mono green, but it does have, you know, the I win on turn 4 or I win on turn 3 sometimes situation, which doesn't really necessarily involve mana. But Tifa doesn't care about this at all. It can actually just completely and utterly ignore it and swing at you over the course of 2 turns if the first attack didn't kill you. So Tifa kind of takes an exception to the all your opponents are mono green rule, because its style of mono green isn't necessarily ramp, even though it does use ramp spells to kill you. So, you know, it is what it is. It was literally a wall of that, right? It was Azusa, loot, the other thing. It doesn't matter if your opponent is all 5 colors. If green is in their deck, you're probably going to lose if they have Llanowar Elves, even if they're on the draw, right? And that's just the format as a whole, and that doesn't make this possible. This is not a commander you should ever play unless you're just trying to be funny or something. I knew that going in, but it does kind of feel bad to sit there and lose for 3.5, or, well, I actually didn't make it to 3 hours. For like, you know, hours and hours just losing to your opponent and just watching your opponent play the game while you do effectively nothing. So that's, you know, I just suffered for other people's sake, I guess. But, you know, this you just can't play this. Every time my opponent has it, I don't care. The only time it's really, really good, or maybe just solid, is if you have an Ancient Tomb opener. Sometimes I had Ancient Tomb on turn 1 into, you know, Mind Stone or something, and my opponent immediately conceded, because that is a lot of mana, and that's just the format. The only thing that really matters is mana. Unless you're super fast aggressive. The only thing that really matters is mana, right? It's been like that for quite a while. I basically say that every single video. It's just the mana. And the mana in colorless doesn't really complement a 3 mana commander. If this was like 5 or 6 or more, and it had scarier text on it, it could certainly be viable, just like Ujin. Right? The only reason Ujin is playable is because of the mana. If you kind of want to play 2 mana sources a turn. If you're not doing that, you're just not doing the best thing that Ujin wants to do, right? This doesn't really get complemented by doing the best thing to do, which is play multiple mana sources a turn, other than the first few turns, and there's not a lot of those hyper blitzy fast turns mana wise in the first few turns for colorless. You can play 2 mana sources a turn, but you're leading up to really nothing of consequence, where, Ujin's not in your command zone. So it doesn't really work out too well. The -3 is definitely the most interesting part of it. The 0 untapping mana rocks did come up a couple times, actually. But leading into the -7 is just awful. I don't... Yeah, like, all the games I played, if I had 55 1-mana cards, and I was guaranteed to put this into play on turn 2 every single game, if I had Ancient Tomb for free every game, played this on turn 2, or my opening hand every game, played this on turn 2 every game, and had a wall of 0 and 1 mana artifacts to race to the 7, that's just... I would say that's worse than whatever I was trying to do. And I don't think making a 3/3 or a 6/6, and then it slowly becomes like a 9/9, is winning any game against any opponent at all ever. Even if it's indestructible. Most decks are not going to care... Where is it? This thing. Or they're not going to care if you have a 12/12 indestructible creature. Now, if you give it trample with the spear... We ended up actually adding the spear, which, again, I mean... there's other issues about this, but if you have the spear to find with this, with your giant creature, you also get life gain with it. Trample lifelink, that could matter. But that only does something if you're building a giant creature and it didn't get exiled, or your opponent is just taking the damage once or twice, or actually sometimes 3 or 4 times, and just ignoring it effectively because you didn't present true lethal. It just went to 3 or whatever, and then they just kill you with whatever it is they're doing instead. So even if you do make indestructible artifact creatures, there's not a lot of ways to make multiples. You kind of can. I had more than one indestructible card that I could make indestructible in a creature at the same time, but you kind of need more than one. Like, the first one doesn't feel like I'm just simply winning, right? My 9/9 or my 12/12 indestructible is not winning really on its own. If I'm ever animating something that is not indestructible, it is vulnerable to basically the other half of the format, which is just removal. So that's not great. Yeah, the -7 doesn't really have any good scenarios. It just really doesn't. And yeah, the plus is sometimes good with mana rocks. If you want to look at this commander as a goofy mana rock, you can, and I kind of feel like that would make sense. The 0 can untap mana sources. The -3 can find stuff like Wayfarer's Bauble, which is just more mana, or that's really about it, honestly. I mean, Expedition Map, you can find that and then get Ancient Tomb and stuff, but it's slow, but, it's just like a goofy mana rock, and that's okay, but you don't really have a commander. There's plenty of opponents who actually just sat there and read this thing because they'd never seen anyone play it before, which is funny to me. It's like, yeah, what does this actually do? And then sometimes people actually, the more they read it, like you see your opponent mouse over it, the more they actually read my commander, the less they cared about it and would just go face instead. Because this is just egregiously terrible. It is nice we have another Ultima, though. Actually, oh yeah, Ultima itself is kind of a very, very scary mana rock in the command zone, right? It costs more mana, but if you untap with this, then you're just going into very scary things. Just kind of like, Forsaken Monument in the command zone. So you would rather have this in the command zone, right? And we do have it. We have this. We have this now to put in the command zone. If you want your commander in your colorless deck to be a mana-producing threat, then, you're going to have to just bite the bullet and play something that costs 5. And that's okay. I think this is solid. This is a lightning rod. It essentially has to die, otherwise your opponent is susceptible to you just untapping and blasting them in the face with really anything that costs like 8, 9, or 10, sometimes even 12, 14. Like, you just blast your opponent with whatever. But Yeah, this in isolation doesn't really do anything, but yeah, we need something like Soul Ring to be added to the game. Because we... Oop, I don't know what I just did. Something got moved around. Because we do have... Oh, that was what it was. Ancient Tomb. I'm kind of expecting us to, at some point, get Soul Ring. I still feel like Ancient Tomb is kind of just as good, sometimes better, than Soul Ring. And if they're willing to put Mana Drain, Dark Ritual, Ancient Tomb in this format, I would expect at some point them to put Soul Ring in this format as well. This is effectively timeless. I mean, yeah, that's another thing I've said repeatedly. And this was an example of this format just being timeless, which means you can't get away with goofy stuff like this unless we get the cards that support this, like Soul Ring. And I'd keep a lookout for it. If Soul Ring does show up, this becomes maybe real. If you always get Soul Ring out of your command zone with this and just play it, that's actually kind of real. That's significant. Just simply Soul Ring. The one card. Just add Soul Ring, this completely changes everything. Having that every game with this. Now, you don't get Soul Ring, like, turn 1 or something, because, you still have to pay for it with this, but that is a very, very significant thing, especially how this actually untaps the Soul Ring with the 0. So you can play with your own Soul Ring with the card that found it. Very strong card there. But yeah, we don't have that. So it looks not great. I'm sure in paper, people have tried this. Paper Brawl, if anyone actually plays that. You can't play this in EDH because it's a Planeswalker. But wait, they said they're changing that. Did that actually get changed? I can't remember. Does anyone know? Did that get changed? I feel like I should know this. It's been so long. I can't seem to... Yeah, alright. It doesn't appear to be the case. I kind of forget. Because they changed, like, vehicles and spaceships can be your commander. But it doesn't look like you can play these as commanders. I would be kind of surprised if they didn't change that. I don't know. In my head, I just assume it is. I've obviously played so much Brawl at this point that I call these commanders on accident all the time. So it's kind of funny. But yeah, let's say you're playing Brawl and you have access to the insane artifacts that are, legacy legal or normal EDH legal, or not restricted to Magic Arena card pool. This is actually probably okay. Alright, there's things it's truly doing beyond just Soul Ring as well. I think Mana Crypt got banned. But we have just way more tools. I thought about running the keys that untap artifacts. It's just like, oh, find a key so you can untap your Power Stone. But you're kind of asking for a setup that demands your commander sort of lives even more than mine was trying to live, and that doesn't seem productive. Really? I wouldn't say it's counterproductive. Maybe it's like adjacent to something. But yeah, the keys just maybe could have replaced this. It's an indestructible thing, but like some of these things could have been more optimal for this. Like, again, the key, like instead of Terrarion, I could have played Manifold Key. Is that the only one? I thought there was the other one, is Voltaic Key. Oh, we don't have Voltaic Key. Oh, jeez. Didn't even know that. What about you? Okay, maybe not that. Yeah, all right, we don't have Voltaic Key, but I guess that one is okay with certain artifacts. Like, I don't know. Definitely not the most necessary thing. It's good with the One Ring, right? If you just use your commander for the -3 to find a good toolkit piece, you have to keep in mind, if you did -3 this for something that wasn't a 0 mana spell, this goes down to 1 loyalty, and if you pass back without any kind of creature presence, this is going to die to the most expected outcome being some kind of mana dork simply swinging into it. But if it's at 2 loyalty, having cast whatever you found, say it was a 1 mana artifact and you played it, it goes to 2 and maybe it has a higher chance to survive. But yeah, like allowing this to live was another issue that just doesn't help you at all, was trying to find consistent ways to allow this to be something I untapped with when I went for it. There were plenty of games where once my opponent had some kind of board presence, it was no longer really viable to even try to cast this the first time if they were just too far ahead. But I would say at that point you're probably already conceding, because it's not really going to come back from those situations unless you have something truly insane to do, and well, whatever that true insanity is probably doesn't need Tezzeret anyways. So yeah, there's way too many issues in this format for this card to do anything at all. But if you like colorless and you don't care, there you go. But can't recommend this. I can't recommend this to anybody. Except the true colorless truthers who will play this just for the sake of trying it. That is it. That is the one play group that would maybe play this, but yeah, don't play this. Alright, well, let me know what you thought about it.